We're in the high desert, just outside of Salt Lake City, for the penultimate event of the 2016 Pirelli World Challenge Touring Car Championship. We're about to turn up the heat at Utah Motorsports campus.
Every story has a beginning. Every hero has an origin. In sports car racing, you have to prove yourself here before you can win glory here. The Pirelli World Challenge Touring Car Championship, where heroes are made.
Welcome to the Pirelli World Challenge Grand Prix at Utah Motorsports campus, presented by Energy Solutions. Hi everybody, I'm Greg Kramer, joined as always by Jeff Lepper. And Jeff, as we're getting into the final few rounds of this Pirelli World Challenge Touring Car Division Championships, some great points battles starting to take shape.
They really are, and it's going to be a battle here with Toby Grahovic leading in Touring Car. Nick Whitmer's lurking back there in second place. Nick's always one of the fastest guys on the track in the races, but that Honda Accord struggles later and in long runs. Toby Grahovic, that BMW M235i, Mr. Consistency. He may not win every race, but his worst finish of the year is fourth.
Now, consistency can win championships. That's what he's hoping for. In Touring Car A, Elevin Goulart right now has a pretty substantial lead in the championship, but the battle for second is wide open. There's only a handful of points that are separating guys right now, like Eric Powell, Matt Fosnot, and Joey Bickers, who's been on a roll as of late. And in Touring Car B, the race is also exceptionally tight, with PJ Gronke leading Henry Morse by only 36 points, and he's leading Tom O'Gorman by only 125. Now, that may sound like a lot, Jeff, but with 4 rounds left, including those 2 here this weekend, when you throw in qualifying points, folks, there's almost 500 points left yet to be won.
We said at the beginning it's going to be a battle. And with that, let's look at the battleground that is Utah Motorsports campus. We start off with that very long straightaway, over 2/3 of a mile going down into turn number 1 into our stop tech braking zone. From there, you weave through the fast sweepers of turns 2 and 3 and 4 before standing on the brakes, going into that tight black rock hairpin. Another 180-degree turn leads into Witchcraft, the fastest corner around the track, and then you climb up through the Attitudes. That leads into another key passing zone, turn number 13, and then it's through windup, release, and back onto that front straight.
Well, it's going to be an awful lot of fun. Jeff, you talked about turn 1, and you referred to it as our stop tech braking zone. You attack it from a long, high-speed run.
That's right, Greg. Top speed down into our stop tech braking zone. You're finding that 300, the 200, the 100 marker. Get that apex right, because it's a nice twisties through turn 3 and 4.
And as always, folks, this Pirelli World Challenge race, it's a double-header weekend, so we're getting ready to start race 2, but before we do, let's go back and take a look at what happened in yesterday's first race of the weekend. Patrick Gallagher led the field to the green in his MX-5, but Adam Poland in this similar car jumped into the lead just before a full course yellow came out for Jasper Drengler, who rolled his Honda Fit. On the restart, Vesko Kozarov and Nick Whitmer powered around Poland, and Jason Wolf grabbed the lead from Joey Bickers in TCA. Meanwhile, Ted Ho, Tom O'Gorman, and second-generation driver Kanan O'Connell, yes, Johnny O'Connell's son, had a fierce battle for the TCA lead. At the halfway mark, Kozarov retired from second, and touring car leader Whitmer began to lose speed. That opened the door for Poland, who took over the lead and sailed to the win. Jason Wolf held off Bickers and Goulart for the Touring Car A win, and Tom O'Gorman broke away from O'Connell and Morris to take the Touring Car B win and gain some valuable championship points. And now our focus turns to race 2. However, we look back at race 1 for our pole awards. Fast lap setting the grid. Henry Morris in Touring Car B, a great lap in his Mazda, getting the Touring Car A pole. Jason Wolf doing what Jason Wolf seems to do here. And Patrick Gallagher up front once again at a 2-minute 4.280 second lap. And a bit earlier, Jeff caught up with our overall pole sitter.
Yeah, we put together a fast race lap yesterday. I was a little worried we got caught up in the BMW and Nissan stuff there in the beginning, but finally got around them and we were like 3 seconds quicker. So I didn't know if I was going to get the pole, if it was going to be me or Adam, but we got it. So 2 Mazdas on the front row. Should be a good race.
Well, congratulations to Mr. Gallagher. What a great run he had. Let's get to the front of the grid for that special command with local vocalist Bethany Benning.
Well, thank you, Greg. We're ready to go green here as we give our command to start engines. And on behalf of Pirelli Tires North America, Optima Battery, and Energy Solutions, to give our command, our national anthem singer, Bethany Benning.
Drivers, start your engines!
Well, she did a great job of that. And here we go, going green.
All right, thanks very much, Bethany. As this big field springs to life, some 40-plus cars about to roll off. Time for our race analysis. It's Utah Motorsports Campus, formerly known as Miller Motorsports Park. Just a tick over 3 miles, as we said, a big field of cars. 93 degrees, very warm but dry. The issue is, with that warmth and the altitude here, not a lot of oxygen in that air. Overheating and lack of power, something you have to deal with here, and they're going to be doing it in just a moment. We'll be back for the start. Stay with us.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Pirelli. Power is nothing without control. And by the Cadillac V-Series, the first ever 464 horsepower 2016 ATS-V Coupe and Sedan, and the all-new 640 horsepower CTS-V Super Sedan. The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Motul, official lubricant of the Pirelli World Challenge. And by Porsche. There is no substitute.
Lights are out on our Cadillac ATS-V, our pace car. We are going racing round 10 of the Pirelli World Challenge Touring Car A, Touring Car B Championships. And again on pole, it is the Patrick Gallagher. We're going to take a look now at our Kia Quad Box. Just a few of the great onboard looks we're going to have here, courtesy of the Replay XD cameras. They offer some great visuals for you. Enjoy this. So the pace car just basically led him around on the installation lap, then ducks in, and now we are going to establish the field. And Jeff Lepper, even though Adam Poland had a pretty dominant day, at one point, Patrick Gallagher threw down a lap. He starts up front.
And if he can maintain that pace all race long, I think he's going to be a good challenger to Adam Poland. Toby Grahovic, they made a lot of changes to his BMW overnight. He'll be strong here. Watch out for that BMW M235i Racing.
He had a pretty solid run to third yesterday, but the pace was not exactly what he was looking for, so that's understandable. And, of course, should we have a restart at some point during the race, they'll have to deal with that VP Racing Fuels acceleration zone, which is in that last sequence of corners. And, of course, they start, and the first thing they hit is the Stop Tech braking zone at the end of a 3,500-foot run.
Yeah, it's over a half a mile on this straightaway down here, and you got a long time to think about what you want to do, sometimes too long. You don't want to make that mistake going down there into Sunset Bend.
And you just saw a shot at the back of the field of our Cadillac Escalade, our fishy safety vehicle, courtesy of Cadillac. And there is the field looking pretty good, just waiting for the indication the grid is clear. And tell you, this is going to be pretty interesting. A huge field, Jeff, getting ready for this standing start. That should make that run into the Stop Tech braking zone, Sunset Bend. And in fact, this first whole sector of this track should be fascinating.
It's going to be amazing to see how that plays out because it is banked down there in Sunset. You can go to the outside. See that waving green flag? That means the grid is set. If you watch those little square black monitors there, you'll see a little red light come on. When that goes off, we go green.
And Gallagher's the guy, the lights are on, our wheeling lights are on, and we go, and Poland stalls it. Absolute stall by Poland. Have to make sure everybody clears. Hopefully everybody will see him. The yellow flags are flying, so all the drivers are aware there is a stalled car. Beautiful job by this field to acknowledge the stall. Now, if Poland can get going, we might be able to continue without this going full course caution, but look at the move. I guess the changes work, Jeff.
It sure has. Toby Grahovic, that rear wheel drive BMW got it under there, but watch Nick Whitmer there to the inside of Vesko Kozarov.
Yeah, Kozarov, good speed, but again, you see Whitmer just loves to get that car up on those curves, and then it just bounces that back end around. But the interesting thing is, not only did Poland stall, but Gallagher did not get away well, did he?
Yeah, dropped all the way back to P6. He's going to have to start playing catch-up, and same with John Weisberg, who was right behind Poland, got hung up. He's back in 7th place.
Interesting story for Weisberg. Had a hose come off of his cool suit, pumped water through the passenger area of the car out onto his right rear tire during the race yesterday. That's what caused him to spin. He said, yeah, we've addressed that.
Yeah, he caught it, didn't catch it, and said, nope, I don't have it, and spun off into the dirt. He got back underway, got that problem fixed. There's a big Hank Supper
Ooh,
for
somebody
Kevin
went
Krause over there. Max Fedler as well. I'm not sure if there was some contact, but Kevin Krause in that outlier group. Porsche Cayman off the course out there in turn number 5.
And there is a look, the pole sitter 54, Gallagher behind Christian Bedusing right now, teammate to Vesko Kozarov. Oh, that was the touch. Yeah, there was a little, just a tap.
Just
nice
enough
job
to
by
upsettle
Krause to
that
save
car.
it, though.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's over there. There's not a lot of sand, not a lot of gravel to slow that car down. Great save.
Yeah, I mean, that car literally speared off track. That defines that phrase here. But, boy, talk about what Grahovic wanted to see happen in terms of his point scenario. And there in 4th is the number 97 once again, Tony Rivera. Started way back in 10th. Didn't have a great run yesterday. Ended up 12th. And obviously they did some work on the car as well. We'll see if it takes. But onto the front straight, completing lap number 1. Point leader Toby Grahovic. Big grin inside that helmet.
He sure is. Going back to our TCB there, you see Tom O'Gorman over Ted Ho, able to get the lead in these 2-car breakaway in TCB, and that is a huge gap. Not sure what happened there at the start, but for these 2 leaders to get that big of a gap over at TCB field, something must have happened there. As you look back, I believe that's either PJ Gronke or his teammate Kanan O'Connell back there in 3rd in that Tech Sport Racing Chevy Sonic.
And the question is, where is Henry Morris, the young 15-year-old? There he is. Boy, he lost some ground at the start as well. And here is your Touring Car A battle. Look at Eleven Goulart, your point leader in the SAC Racing Mazda, down underneath Jason Wolf, who is, I don't know that Jason's ever lost a race here at this venue, but right now, Goulart to the front.
Right behind him is Johan Swartz in that Shea Racing Honda Civic, a brand new build for that car as it was destroyed at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. They got a new tub, put all the pieces on there. There's a big, somebody way off in the dirt. I don't know if that was just a drop of a tire. When you drop a small, even dropping a wheel off here with the silt sand they have out here, it really creates that huge dust cloud as Wolf down to the inside.
Nice move by Wolf, tucks inside now. Can Goulart stay on his shoulder? If he can do it here, nope, can't get it done. And Wolf will assume the point. And right behind that trio now, Joey Bickers has reeled it back in. And look at Johan Schwartz showing the nose to Goulart. Johan, a savvy racer, knew that wasn't going to work. He just wanted to get in there and I think let Eleven know that, hey, I'm coming. And this time Jason drops a wheel just a little bit.
And I got to think that back there, I think Elevon, great racer there, said, I'm just going to back it up a little bit, let Jason go, because I don't want to lose 2 positions of Johan as well.
And now, feeding it through this section of racetrack. Busy place up through the attitudes here. Look at the line Goulart used, and that is legal. You are allowed to use all of that curb, and even that one in the second attitude. You can come way over, not even have your tires on that left side of the track. It works, and you're seeing there, we are watching the
Kevin Krause in his Porsche Cayman, the Outlier Scion group, coming back through the field after spinning. He's got around that, and you see back there in 5th is Eric Powell. Here's Joey Bickers, that number 49 Atlanta Motorsports Group Mazda MX-5, into 4th place. Lost touch with 3rd through that lap traffic with Kevin Krause trying to come back through.
And watching him go through, next car we're going to pick up here, Powell, who had a good start up into 5th. And Powell is our Best Standing Start award winner. Congratulations to Mr. Powell here as he gets that award. And congratulations once again. Currently running in the 5th spot. And a nice job for the Tech Sport team. So right now, Toby Grahovic leads overall for Whitmer and Gallagher. Jason Wolf leads TCA over Goulart and Schwartz. And in Touring Car B, it's Tom O'Gorman, Ted Ho, and PJ Gronke.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Nissan. Innovation that excites. By Eibach, the world leader in high-performance suspension. And by Borla, we build excitement. The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. By Replay XD, life's in HD, replay it. And by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source.
Welcome back, everybody. There is Toby Grahovic, your overall and touring car leader. There's Nick Whitmer. But the man on the move right now, that car, the number 54 of Patrick Gallagher, had that start, Jeff, where he dropped to 6th and has been able to work his way already up into the top 3. Problem is, he's about 4 seconds adrift of second place right now.
Yeah, but the rear-wheel drive, heavier cars of your leader, Toby Grahovic, and Nick Whitmer in second versus that light, nimble, great handling Mazda MX-5. I think this is going to be a strategy play here for Patrick Gallagher. Toby Grahovic, strategy as well. Let's get as big a lead as we can because we know we're going to start slowing down and back up, and we can't back up too far into those Mazda MX-5s.
And what Gallagher wants to do is get as close as he can and just start hounding him. And no problems early here in this one, Jeff, for Jason Fichter.
Yeah, the team has it water temps at 240 degrees, and you can't have that. That was yesterday, and it looks like that might be terminal for young Jason Fichter in that Mother's Fuel Honda Accord.
That's unfortunate. He has really had a solid year this year in terms of outright speed. Great to see. Now, a little bit of a change here, it looks like, in our Touring Car A category. Wolf, I think, still leads it and has opened up that little bit of a lead. But now, Bickers has gone from 4th to 2nd in about a lap and a half.
And it's a heavy contested championship here in our Touring Car A category with Joey Bickers trying to run down Elevan Goulart. The best thing that's in that rearview mirror of Bickers is seeing that Honda Civic of Johan Swartz, who hasn't done the whole year, but he's right there blocking Elevan Goulart. And Vesko Kozarov slow down there on the inside in his Nissan 370Z.
Oh, what a shame. They had a troubled race yesterday, but he sure had some speed when it was working. But right now, he's just trying to get it to pit lane, doing everything he can to try and stay out of the way. This has got to be a frustrating event here, Jeff, for the simple reason that he swept all 3 of the races here last year. You would have expected him to be a serious player, but it is a different car, isn't it?
And it is his home track, so it goes to that brand new 370Z platform here in Touring Car, racing the Nissan Altimas last year. Still some teething problems in that. The team behind him, CA Sport, they can get it done, running 4 cars here this weekend.
Oh, big moment here for your points leader in Touring Car B, PJ Gronke, doing the big slide here and was trying, I think it looked like he was working on a move here with he and Henry Morse have been having a great scrap for 3rd behind our leaders. Watch it here, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, made big contact there coming into the attitudes and sort of backs out of it. Then he sees that his teammate's there and gets turned over there with Kanan O'Connell. Contact with the 2 Techsport Racing Chevy Sonics down through the gravel trap. They get it back underway, and good heads-up driving there from Kanan O'Connell. Saw it coming. But Tom O'Gorman, your race winner yesterday, and won 3 in a row now.
Yeah, pretty impressive what he's been doing. The guy, though, that's chasing him, Ted Ho, was really quick. Remember that pass he made yesterday as they were coming into Witchcraft and then running up into the attitudes, and he went from 3rd to 1st with an absolutely fabulous move. It was a transmission problem. We saw him parked, but boy, he had speed.
Yeah, I was over there at the team talking with Plus Performance and Billy Roper there, and they showed me one side of the clutch. Looks great. The other side of the clutch, just rivets, no material.
Ooh,
so, yeah, spun the clutch right out of that Mazda 2. They got the new clutch from James Wilson, actually borrowed one from him in his Mazda 2, which James brings a lot of spare parts. He usually drives that car to the track, so he's got all types of spare parts. But great, it's kind of the camaraderie that we see in Touring Car B-Spec in all the categories here in Pirelli World Challenge.
The smart thing right now, Ted Ho not doing anything to try and make a pass on O'Gorman. He's not showing the nose. He's just staying there. And these two have made a pretty good break. I mean, in this class of racing in Touring Car B, they got a 4.5 second lead back to Morse and Gronke and Kanan O'Connell in that battle here. That's unheard of. These guys are playing this game to perfection.
It really is. And you see Ted Ho right there behind that. You just got to check this young man, only 18. Got to see if, I'm sure they'll be on the radio with him, trying to check the temperatures and making sure. And you see Toby Grahovic pulling the gap a little bit more. And Nick Whitmer, there we see it. It's starting to back up to those MX-5s now. Patrick Gallagher, John Weisberg.
Well, in that car, the way that car works is you just kind of let the back end almost do what it wants. But the problem is eventually that starts to affect the front tires as well. And you can just see it happening here. And Gallagher showing the nose. You can see a lot of lock up there as Whitmer is just, he's forced to carry so much speed into these corners. And then that just means sometimes he's not that quick out of them.
And then Gallagher doesn't want to try to make a move. He's got to try to protect over John Weisberg as well. And not a lot of time to get stuff done here with only 40 minutes. We've already done 12, still 28 minutes to go. And Nick Whitmer way wide there on the exit in the knockout and entering Witchcraft. Can that Gallagher get a run? I think Gallagher had to check up too when he saw him, afraid Nick might come right back in front of him.
Yeah, that's the problem. When somebody has a moment like that, you'd like to pounce on it, but if you do and they suddenly come popping back right in front of you, it can be pretty catastrophic. Touring car A, Jason Wolf doing what Jason Wolf seems to do here. Bickers sitting in second, Goulart in third, and they've been able to gap just a little bit here, Elevin Goulart, so pretty impressive what this group of three at the front has been able to do. But for Jason Wolf, this is Utah Motorsports Campus, this is his track. It's a great story.
I tell people I race a Kia, and they're like, "You race what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, a Kia." And then I go on to tell them about, like, it's a fun car to drive. It's an actual race car. I mean, it's still a street car at heart, but it has a lot of racing attributes to it. It makes it a lot of fun.
A lot of people think it's an economy car, and it is, but when you take an economy car and give it a lot of grip, it is the most fun you could possibly have in a race car. This car really sticks to the ground, and it's so much fun. Rips your face off.
TCA category has been a pretty good stepping stone into TC or GTS, even GT. You learn a lot with lower horsepower cars. It's more about racecraft and drafting, working the line, that kind of deal.
It's definitely taught me a lot about momentum, and in these cars you need that. In terms of being comfortable in a racing situation, it's by far one of the best classes you can race with, because you have everything. You have racecraft, you have drafting, you have bumping, you have everything in this class.
Winning the championship the past 2 years has been awesome. I mean, the team that Kia's put together and the guys at Kinetic have put together have just been outstanding. We've worked together really well, and that's been a huge part of our success.
I just want to say thanks to Kia, Kinetic, Pirelli. Everyone's done an awesome job in getting me started in racing.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Honda Performance Development, Honda's North American Racing Company, and by the Bob Bondurant School of High Performance Driving, official driving school of the Pirelli World Challenge Championships.
Welcome back to the Pirelli World Challenge Grand Prix at Utah Motorsports Campus, presented by Energy Solutions. There is Toby Grahovic, who has taken advantage of opportunity here, Jeff. I think that's the only way to put it here, is wringing that BMW's neck and has built a margin that he's going to need because of those two cars behind him.
Yeah, they are. I've been watching the times here. Patrick Gallagher, once he got clear of Nick Whitmer, he's running about 0.2 of a second quicker lap times than Toby Grahovic, but there's still a lot of times to go, and I believe Toby Grahovic has answered that call, because he just went purple in Sector 1, fastest overall time of any car so far in the race. So really setting the pace here early on in the touring car segment.
Yeah, and the sectors, the way they score them here, the first sector is from start finish to the entrance of turn 4, second sector, that part of the track to the entrance of the attitudes, final sector, the attitudes all the way around to start finish, and that's how we can break out these sector times. So we really appreciate having that bit of data. And here comes Gallagher through the attitudes, using every bit of that curb, and he has to, because again, a good run. Whenever it's trouble-free, John Weisberg is always a factor.
Yeah, that Redcom Lab Mazda MX-5, of course, his wife Dina racing in touring car as well. Brought that Redcom team to 3 strong at Berg Racing, with Jay Solinsky running in our touring car A category in that Regenix K-Man fused lenses Mazda MX-5. We'll see him back in our TCA category. He's currently running back in 13th there, but good run for John Weisberg. And when he's got 3 cars, now he brings in more crew. He's able to focus on his own car and not have to worry about getting 3 other cars ready. So that's really, we've seen that happen here this year in that Redcom car.
Let's see what this margin is. It was 3.9 between Grahovic and Gallagher last lap, and it's 3.7, so it's slowly coming down, but it is coming down. Going back now to 9th, you've got a good battle. Shea Holbrook, who had a very troubled race yesterday, in it today, but had to start pretty well back in the order. She runs 9th. Right behind her, she's in that 67 right there, that blue Shea Racing, Bubba Berger, and Lucas Oil Honda. Right behind her is a guy who always seems to find it at this track, Steve Burns, of that VP Racing Fuels Mustang.
Yeah, I think the Mustang with that V6 power, rear-wheel drive, it's a little heavier than all the other cars in the field, but that extra power, I believe, in that V6, able to get it done. Shea Racing, they lost the clutch, or sorry, lost 4th gear in her car yesterday. The team had 2 hours to get that car fixed and get a new transmission put in before race day yesterday. They did that. Car started overheating a little bit. They came in, topped it off. They were able to complete over half the laps and get those precious points. But during that whole time, I sort of disappeared a little bit and went and had myself a Bubba Burger over there at their paddock area. So that was pretty good.
I tell you, the car that they just both worked by was Anthony Girazzi, who started the lap up in the 8th spot, and they've been able to get around him. And here they come around the leaders in Touring Car B. And Ted Ho going to try and take advantage, showing the nose. Is he going to get it done, Jeff? Down to the inside. And I think Tom O'Gorman went, well, yeah, he had me there. Nothing I could do about it. And the last thing you want to do is fight that in a Touring Car B-Spec car and lose that immensely valuable momentum.
Absolutely. I think Tom O'Gorman saw that happening, knew it was going to hold it. Now, here's what's going to happen is Brian Lift's going to pinch Ted Ho down a little bit. You saw Tom O'Gorman jerk the wheel a little bit, try to see if I can get a look to the outside. Just wasn't quite close enough. But that Breathless Performance team, great job getting that clutch replaced. And Ernie Francis Jr. today at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course got a win in the TA4 category Trans Am race. So that Breathless team already got a win today, trying to see if they can make it 2 in a row on 2 different racetracks.
Boy, Ted would love that. And as you can see, O'Gorman right on his bumper as they were working through Witchcraft here. And here O'Gorman, a little bit tighter line on the exit here, and that allowed Ho to just ease away by a couple of car lengths here, and Kraus slips in between them. Ted Ho will appreciate that.
He sure will. It put just a little bit of a breather space in between him and Tom O'Gorman, but Tom O'Gorman won 3 in a row so far. Don't count him out.
Yeah, he's been pretty impressive. As we go back, take a look at our TCA leader. Why do you need, in that sequence through Witchcraft, a right rear tire at all?
Yeah, I don't think so, especially on a front-wheel drive car. It's just up in the air, and it's really along for the ride in the TCB cars. I know that a lot of guys will actually crimp the rear brake line and have no rear brakes in the TCB category car because it really is just along for the ride. Going on to the TCA, you're going to use that suspension. You're going to use those brakes a little bit because it's a lot heavier car, but through Witchcraft, it's a sight to see. You can clear a cone, I think, over as tall as some of those cars get.
Well, and I'll tell you, it is a very fast corner, but it's a rare, very quick decreasing radius corner, so the load just continues to build all the way through it. That tire gets higher and higher and higher. It's fun to watch these guys, and they do put on a show here. Grahovic, by the way, continues to lead, but Gallagher is trimming that margin down at the very front here. And speaking of trimming the margin down, Bickers is coming back at Wolf big time.
Yeah, 1.5 seconds last time by. They crossed the line now, and you can see it on your screen. He's just right there with them at 0.8. So cut by half just on that one lap. And I don't believe there was any significant lap traffic that might have held Jason up. So, those turbochargers, they create a lot of heat. The intercoolers start getting heat soaked and generate and hold all that heat in. So the car will automatically start pulling some timing out, thinking the motor's starting to get hot, and then that starts dropping some horsepower.
And on the other end of it, it's a front drive car, so those front tires have to do everything. Brake, accelerate, turn, and they can start to go away just a little bit. But there is Patrick Gallagher, who continues to throw down some very impressive laps, and Gallagher drawing ever closer to our overall leader, Toby Grahovic. John Weisberg continues to run in third. Wolf, Bickers, and Schwartz in Touring Car A, and in Touring Car B now Ted Ho leading from Tom O'Gorman, and they have a big lead back to Henry Morris in the Touring Car B category. We'll be right back to Utah Motorsports Campus.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Mazda, who reminds you that conviction, courage, and creativity are the Mazda way. And by AFE Power, advanced engineering, proven performance.
There's your battle for the lead in Touring Car B, and once again, Tom O'Gorman has worked his way around Ted Ho, but they still have that big margin over 5 seconds back to Henry Morris, who's got another 5 back to PJ Gronke. And there you see Henry just come into the picture, and I'm not sure, Jeff, that looks like it might be now a little less than 5 seconds.
It was actually 7 seconds before that, and Henry Morris is going through there, and this could be a full crush yellow. As you see those believe that's Brian Lift in the outlier sign. See if we can see what happened as he comes down in the braking zone for the Black Rock hairpin, turns in, locks up, goes straight, trying to catch it, and you get right to the edge of the asphalt and still nothing. And once you get in that gravel trap, it just buries the car in that Cal 1 Porsche Cayman.
And that is definitely in a potential impact zone, because you turn into that clubhouse turn, you're carrying some speed.
You are. That's you come down into that corner and you're hard on the brakes, and if you miss that brake zone, you'll be right into the side of that Porsche Cayman.
Well, guess what? If we do go caution, this race will take on a completely different dynamic at this stage. And Grahovic That's the last thing he wants, because he knows now, as you said, Jeff, we're approaching 25 minutes in here, and those tires are going to have taken a pounding. He needs as much margin as he can, and Gallagher is in full attack mode, and full course caution is called. Here we go. 2-second margin at the front, but more importantly for Nick Whitmer, he gets to cool the tires, and he has a 12-second deficit he'll be able to make up. Up at the Touring Car A battle, that's still pretty close right at the front, but in Touring Car B, Henry Morris sees that 5-second deficit, as does Gronke and Kanan O'Connell. It all evaporates here. Oh man, when we go back to green, this is a completely different race.
Yeah, all the best laid plans and all the strategy you had on going green the whole way, just throw that out the window. Just put those belts tight, strap in, and it's going to be a barn shootout. Probably about 10, maybe 8 minutes to go when we go back to green, about 4 laps.
Yeah, and they should be able to get that car extracted. There wasn't any the damage that we could see on it, so they ought to be able to hook up and get that car moved, and they're already on site. So we got a quick Muck Daddy cleanup coming, and while we're doing that, we're going to step away for just a moment, but we'll be back, and it should be spectacular when we do.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Kia Optima, not your average midsize sedan. And by VP Racing Fuels. Our passion is your performance.
Welcome back to the Pirelli World Challenge Grand Prix at Utah Motorsports Campus, presented by Energy Solutions. And we're getting word that there is a possibility, Jeff, that we might get a white flag shown the next time the field comes by, the start-finish line. Now, they finally have got this car up. Do we get a one-lap shootout? It all depends. If he can get in that and just drive it away in a hurry here, and these safety vehicles can make a quick move off track here, maybe. There's time. They're only in the Black Rock hairpin here, Jeff.
Yeah, they do have plenty of time to get him strapped back in and get him underway. The key is he's going to have to stay offline, or maybe just a little bit off, or even just pull behind the wall knowing his race is done, because you don't want to go over there and lay the gravel out all over the track or the racing line as you leave there. They'll get the EV crews, so there could be a chance we might see a green-white checker, or just a green and a white flag, and just be a one lap till the end.
Well, it's possible. It's all going to come down to how quick they get moved. We'll watch the lights on the top of that pace car, and we'll listen to race control, and let's hope that we're able to at least get a lap of racing here to bring this one home. If we do, it should be furious. Oh, waiting for the call. Watch those lights. I was just going to say, we're listening here. There was an urgent call from race control to the safety car, and then he paused for a second. Lights out. Lights out. We are going green, and we anticipate seeing, well, let's see, what kind of times do we have out there? Yeah, we're probably going to have to get the white flag as well. So it is going to be one lap to decide this one. Oh, boy.
Wow, going green there, and you see everybody start closing the gap, trying to get that extra chance. And assuming we have no problems or no greens, we could stay green this whole way till the end. But Tom O'Gorman leading in TCB, Jason Wolf, and Toby Grahovic.
And when's the next race for these guys?
A month.
A lot of time.
2 months.
A lot of time to fix these cars.
2 months away at October 7th and 8th at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca.
I'm betting that we're going to see something happen here. This is going to be pretty intense here. Here we go. Pace car is in. One lap shootout. 3 classes, 40 cars. And it is about to commence right now. Grahovic leading him up, and we are green. Grahovic rolls into the throttle. Gallagher, this time with the rolling start right there. Weisberg as well, but there you see the power of the BMW, but then you're going to have that brake scenario as well once they get down into the first turn, and the pack, the explosion behind them here. Oh, Jeff, this is awesome.
Yeah, Max Fedler started in 6th, and look at this, battling for 3rd on the outside of Weisberg down into Sunset. The youngster trying to see if he can get his BMW into a podium space.
He got a tremendous launch on that restart. And now, watch him. This is where we figure Grahovic, with those cooled-down tires, might be able to do something here and hold off Gallagher. Now, the question is, what's going on in the other classes as well? Gallagher certainly is looking racy. We're heading into Black Rock. Is Gallagher going to make a move here? Not quite close enough yet. 3 abreast at the inside of 4 at the kink.
Okay, saw Daniel Moan and Nick Wimmer go. Oh, and Toby Grahovic way slow coming off the exit. Gallagher trying to make a move.
Wow.
And I wonder if Grahovic was just squaring it up a little bit, trying to get a good run to not let anybody get a run down there in the hairpins.
Look at this. Jason Wolf in the middle of a sandwich here as they come through the Black Rock hairpin. Bickers, Schwartz, Goulart all in the mix here as Grahovic sweeps through. He's got a little bit of a margin at hand here. Watch this. What's unfolding? Touring car A. Here it comes at us. It's kind of hidden between here. There he is, the number 12. He has got a margin. Boy, this actually worked out well for Jason. Because,
Johan.
Yeah.
Johan into second, got around
Nice
Joey
job.
Bickers, so Johan Schwartz got around him.
That's an impressive run as well. Here we go down the hill. Meanwhile, out of the Tuella turn, heading into Clubhouse, Grahovic has that margin, those cooled off tires. If Gallagher's going to do anything, it's going to have to happen, and it's going to have to happen now because Grahovic's got straight line. So Gallagher has to just work some magic here. Has he done it? He's down to the inside. Now, can he be? And Weisberg is going to help him out because he's going to run a block. But now Weisberg, he's trying for the run. A drag race to the finish.
Wow,
Gallagher!
photo finish. Who was it? Was it Gallagher? It shows Weisberg on the monitor.
Boy.
But wow, who got the win there? Not sure. 3 pressed coming across the line.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that one. Meanwhile, in Touring Car A, there's Wolf getting his 6th win here at Utah Motorsports campus. Phenomenal job and phenomenal drive. So, wow, what a story. Now, what's going on in Touring Car B? O'Gorman goes 4 in a row. Ted Ho just didn't have an answer. And Morse, Gronke, and O'Connell weren't able to stick with that group in this final run here. It's spectacularly exciting stuff. Wow. And yeah, our monitor shows Weisberg by 55 one-thousandths of a second. 55 one-thousandths of a second. Now, the question is, sometimes it's where transponders are located and the like, so we're going to have to confirm this one. But my, oh my, what an amazing finish here, regardless. And did Weisberg, that's taking advantage of opportunity. Can't fault that one at all. What an amazing, amazing race here. And we'll have to find out just exactly what that margin of victory record is. Let's see. In Touring Car A, 3 one-thousandths of a second. So they didn't quite break that record, but for Touring Car, they may well have. And we're going to come up with the answers and some interviews when we come back to Utah Motorsports campus. Wow.
The Pirelli World Challenge on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Lincoln Tech, America's Technical Institute. By TireRack.com, revolutionizing tire buying since 1979. And by Motor Trend On Demand. Visit MotorTrendOnDemand.com. Start your free trial today.
Everybody to the Pirelli World Challenge Grand Prix at Utah Motorsports campus, presented by Energy Solutions. Round 10 of the championship for the touring cars is done, and a spectacular finish at the end, and a tremendous read of traffic and an opportunity. And John Weisberg comes through with a margin of victory at 55 one-thousandths of a second, Jeff. That must be one relieved guy.
Well, we opened the cool box and there was water in there. 55 one-thousandths of a second, drag race to the end.
Oh man, what an incredible race. I got to thank Pat from the Atlanta Motorsport Group. What a fantastic guy to race against. Toby did a great job. I know he was struggling with tires, but I was just hoping that that Pat could get inside of him at some point, and we could have at least a Mazda 1-2 or at least a Mazda on the top. I never expected to be here.
But walk us through that pass. We're showing it right now here as you came off of onto the front stretch.
Well, we came through wind up, and I knew Pat would probably jump to the inside, and he pushed Toby wide, and just Pat didn't have enough grip to carry out the speed, and I was able to take the normal line and get a little run on Pat, and I guess it was just enough by that much.
Well, there's John Weisberg in that Redcom lab getting his race win and probably the closest finish in Pirelli World Challenge history.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, that has been confirmed. The margin previous to this was 0.295 seconds, and now it is 55 1/1000ths of a second. Weisberg over Gallagher, just that close. Grahovic third. Good points for Toby, because neither Weisberg or Gallagher, well, Gallagher's part of the points battle here, but for Toby, that's exactly what he needed. What a run by Max Fedler, coming up from deep in the pack after problems yesterday to fourth. And Christian Budusing, even with problems for her team owner's car, and Vesko Kozarov doing a nice job to come up into that top five. And now we're going to take a look at the points as well after this 10th round of a championship. And now let's get down to Jeff with our winner again, Jeff in Touring Car A.
Well, Jason Wolf, you come back to Pirelli World Challenge, win yesterday, win today, and there's really nothing left for you to do but win.
Yeah, that was a good race. The guys behind me got into a battle at the beginning and gave me a pretty good buffer. So I was able to ride that out for a little bit, just try to stay as consistent as possible. And he was gaining on me there at the end, so it was making me sweat a little bit. But no, we were able to hang on, and can't thank the guys at Kinetic enough.
Well, here's a stat for you. All-time race winner amongst any category here at Utah Motorsports campus.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that.
I would think you would like that a lot, and did a tremendous job here. As we take a look at the results in Touring Car A, Wolf with that win. Johann Schwartz, what a fighting comeback here to the Pirelli World Challenge after being out of it since Circuit of the Americas. Second in this one. Joey Bickers third. Eric Powell in fourth. And the big story here is we're now going to take a look at the points in the Touring Car A category. Is Eleven Goulart back in the sixth spot with Powell in fourth? Things are snugging up. And now let's get down and hear from our third class winner. Another sweep of a weekend. Jeff?
Well, Tom O'Gorman driving this Honda Fit. You've been undefeated since you've been driving this car.
This car is just incredible. I can't say enough about how Honda's got the development of this car nailed. I also got to give a lot of props to the other drivers today. Ted and I had a great race. It's unfortunate we had the caution because we were just starting to get racy. Especially the TCA drivers raced us like gentlemen coming through on that restart. It was awesome. Again, cannot thank Black Armor Helmets enough for the support and the product. Carbotech brakes, of course, K-Tuner, SCCA Track Night in America, and then, of course, Honda. Again, everybody watching at home, all my friends, family, I've got people from all over the country here supporting me and watching at home, so thank you guys, and I'm looking forward to rounding out the championship at Laguna Seca.
Now, ran that older car a little bit earlier, but now, are you thinking points championship? Because you're starting to gain close that gap.
You know, the whole thing has been points championship. We ran the old car the first couple races. It was a series of second place finishes. It was just get in some points. Now that we're contending for wins, we're just racking up those championship points as well. We'll score double points at Laguna Seca since we skipped Lime Rock, so we're not leading the championship, but we're in a really, really good spot to score double out there.
I would not say managing the points. He's taking them all.
Exactly. He's just sweeping them into a bucket and taking them with him. Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at the results here. And O'Gorman with that win over Ted Ho. Henry Moritz, keep in mind, comes in second in the points. A third place finish. PJ Gronke, your points leader, finishes fourth. And another top five by Kanan O'Connell with James Wilson and Jasper Drengler completing the field. And as you take a look at the points, this is where it gets interesting here with O'Gorman. You heard that interview. He's talking about getting double points at Mazda Raceway. With this finish, he's going to be well within 100 points here of PJ Gronke. If he can do something special at Mazda Raceway, it might happen. What a story that would be. So with that, now let's turn our attention to some very prestigious specialty awards. First of all, we begin with our Kia Turning Point. No question, it had to be the full course caution caused by the 99 of Brian Lift in the Outlier Sign Group Porsche Cayman, ending up in the gravel, set up a one-lap dash to the finish. And it was that moment that set up our Cadillac Best Move of the Race Award. And what a beauty it was. John Weisberg in his Berg Racing Redcom Labs Mazda going from third to the win. 55 1/1000ths of a second, the margin of victory. Cadillac Best Move indeed. As we take a look at our VP Racing Fuels Hard Charger Award, it was Eric Powell in his Tech Sport Racing Mazda MX-5 Cup car, up 10 spots overall during the course of the race. Well done to him. We take a look at our Motul Fast Laps in Touring Car. It was the number 26, Toby Grahovic, in the classic BMW M235IR, getting the fast lap there. In Touring Car A, it was the number 66, Johann Schwartz, who was able to return to the series with an opportunity with Shea Racing in his heel and toe Honda Civic Si. And in Touring Car B, hardly a surprise there, the number 94 once again, putting up the best lap of the race in that one. That is Tom O'Gorman in the Black Armor Helmets Track Night in America Honda Fit. So as always, the three touring car divisions putting on such a remarkable show, this time from the desert in Utah. It doesn't get much better than that. Next round of the championship coming up in a little bit over a month. out in Monterey, California at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. What a race. What a venue to wrap up a championship. Thanks so much for joining us here in Utah. For Jeff Lepper and our entire crew, I'm Greg Creamer in association with WC Vision. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.